Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, man. This is Joe Rogan on James Charles and cancels culture. What? I don't understand. I guess in this video, I think he finds out who James Charles is. Now, if y'all don't know who James Charles is, to my knowledge, he is a YouTuber who is in, like, I think the makeup community and maybe fashion. I don't know. I don't know. Haven't watched any of his videos, but we're about to find out what Joe Rogan thinks. All right, let's go.
The Joe Rogan experience.
So I brought up that makeup boy, and the makeup boy my daughter's in love with. She watches this makeup boy on YouTube, and now he's been canceled. I understand he lost $3 million, and she was telling me
he got canceled. You can get canceled on YouTube. Does he mean his show? He had a show that got canceled, or does he mean he's not letting his daughter watch it?
Have an 11-year-old sit down and tell you about a gay makeup artist, and this is the funny part. She goes, well, there was a couple things. Okay, so there was the thing with he has a friend who, and he tells me this woman's name, who got him into the business, and then she asked him to promote her hair stuff, but he said no, and he went with another hair stuff, so he totally betrayed her. All right, it's like my 11-year-old's telling me this, and then this was the best part. She goes, there was also some talk that, you know, he's gay, and there was boys that were not gay, and he tried to get them to be in a room with him. It's like listening to an 11-year-old tell me this shit.
Well, by the way, that also could have been that's the tone of the internet anyway, as an 11-year-old girl. So you actually heard at least it came from an 11-year-old girl instead of like so-and-so's canceled. You could read
40.
every you're a fucking 40-year-old adult. Why are you talking like a little girl? Yeah. You're on BuzzFeed, you're on Fox. Like, it's getting to the point where the New York Times is going to be doing that. Like,
they're close to it now. I mean, I think that
Alabama owns abortion people.
Yeah. What it is the media right now, especially journalism, they're fucking starving for hits. It's so hard to make money. It's so hard.
Yeah.
And so they're drowning.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to grab whatever branches they can.
This may not even be on topic, but I can't help but look at his headset. It's like tilted to the side. He needs to like push some over here and bring this one out, right? That's not important? Okay.
Yeah. If they got to make a good story with a clickbaity title, fuck it. They'll have that deceptive title. Who gives a shit?
So
we got a good story. The story's vetted.
Yeah.
And even if it's not totally vetted, if it's a little slippery, but you can make an amendment later. You know, I'm sorry, we have a little bit of an apology. We have to make a retraction.
Yeah.
Nobody reads those goddamn retractions.
No.
I mean, you should have to have a retract. If you fuck up so hardcore that you attribute a crime to someone or you do something like that, and you have to make a retraction, it should be on the front page of your paper and nothing else for a month. Like, that's it. This is your newspaper now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Plank.
We don't get to tell you the news anymore.
Yeah, by the
because
way,
we fucked this up so hard that we printed out to millions of people. You don't get to just put in a little column in the corner.
Yeah.
We'd like to apologize.
We fucked up last month. Also, 9/11 happened. Also, plane thrown into the World Trade Center.
It's fucking too hard to be a journalist, man.
Well, that's what this is what
feel like journalists don't really. I'm not talking about all journalists, obviously, because there's probably journalists out there that do you know what I'm saying, they work. But I feel like journalists nowadays, it's not really to get the story. It doesn't feel like it's about getting the story, the actual story, like the meat and potatoes and, you know what I'm saying, macaroni, the collard greens, all that. It's not about that anymore. It's about selling some type of image, you know what I'm saying? It's about like, oh, I can make a lot of money off this story, or oh, I can make a lot of money off this, not even a story, but the potential that it could be a story if this happens and this happens and that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like, miss me with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like, I'm allergic to fake. I'm allergic. My doctor told me I'm allergic to fake and bee stings and cut grass, fresh cut grass.
Another thing I want to talk to you about, which is absolute meaning. If you believe, like, I still believe in, like, institutional journalists. I believe in New York Times. I believe in Washington Post. Like, so, and you use the fact that they wrote about a UFC fight. They just said he was bloody, and the McGregor fight where he's bloody and he wasn't.
It was just a very bad description. It was very inaccurate. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, you guys are crazy that the New York Times is allowing this completely inaccurate description of something that millions of people saw.
Yeah.
It's so silly. And it makes everybody question everything else you say. And you might think it's trivial because it's just a boxing match. But it's completely inaccurate.
Yeah.
And completely exaggerating what actually went down.
Because it's all about selling stuff. They're trying to make money. They don't care about the actual stories anymore. People, they don't care about that. They're trying to sell something. That's why when they always come up with these trade predictions or who's going where in free agency, it's all about some type of storyline. Like, oh, KD will go back home to Washington and be with his family in this storyline, or he'll go here and try to do this. And when it doesn't even make sense basketball wise or like from the standpoint of KD, you know what I'm saying? It's annoying. My bad if y'all don't know who KD is. He a basketball player. Ooh, did y'all hear that flick of the wrist?
Well, if you've had articles written about you, they fuck up everyone.
Everything, yeah.
Everyone. Now, having said that, we can't dismiss all of journalism. Like, there needs to be an absolute, kind of an absolute truth, and that's what I feel like is sort of melting in this era of anyone goes like, well, they said this, and that's not true, so everything else they say is fucking bullshit.
Right, of course.
It's like journalism probably started off, you know what I'm saying, straight facts. Straight facts. You know what I'm saying? Then there was a story or a couple of stories that had probably came out through the journalists, you know what I'm saying? And it made like stupid buku money, like crazy. To where the publishers was probably like, okay, we need to start getting more return like this. But the journalist was like, well, ain't nothing cracking like that no more. We already spilled all the beans. And the journalist was like, what if we make our own beans and then we spill them? I just broke the internet.
Which I think the Trump does a lot. And I think people are all too happy to believe it because they resent institutions. They resent these smarty pants motherfuckers, which I also get. I get the impulse.
Especially
I just don't think
like New York Times, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's the smartest of the old gray lady.
Yeah, and it's like it just plays on every stereotype. Like there are so many stereotypes at work that can make you write it off.
I think we're in a transitionary period. That's what I think. And I think.
What do you think it gets replaced by, though?
That's the real problem. The real problem is they have all their pieces, all the best journalists, right? All the best people are all locked into two ancient systems. One ancient system is print medium. The other ancient system is broadcast medium. Mm-hmm. The broadcast medium, the ancient part of it is it has to go on at a certain time, Tuesdays at 8 p.m., and then you have to sit there and wait for commercials unless you DVR it, right?
Right.
So that's inherently flawed. And then the print medium, well, they figured out a way to get it on your laptop and your phone now. So, okay, they've got a little bit of a workaround there, but they have a really hard time getting people to sign up for digital subscriptions. The distribution's not nearly as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard to get people to buy newspapers. But at least they've got their foot in the door with clickbaity
and I think,
titles.
Like the Times and the Post are pretty successful online.
They're actually doing much better because of President Trump.
Yeah.
Because he talks so much shit about them that people actually said, I need to support.
What? The New York Times, what is it?
That's crazy. All right, I appreciate y'all. I know some of y'all might be here because James Charles. I don't know if y'all watched the whole video, but a lot of that didn't have nothing to do with James Charles. That had to do with journalism and how they report stuff. Anyways, I hope I took this subscription clip off, but if I didn't, hit subscribe. I don't know if y'all seen the video or not. Y'all might have just seen the big old subscribe button, but go ahead and hit it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and. What did Jim do on? Oh, what up? Anyways, I'm out of here, man.